G'day, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I'm your host, Mark, and Britsburgh Owen. Mate, it's only been an hour or so, but we now have the full schedule. What's going on, mate?
Quality, mate. I just cannot wait. This season looks amazing already. First 8 weeks just look wow.
Yeah, and look, we are going to get into it. We're going to go analyze every single game and give you our picks along the way or at the end. We're just going to talk about the schedule at a whole and what we think about. It's big news, right? This is like the start. This is the very start of the off season and mini camps, training camps. I want to give a big shout out. And I saw you watch the video too. Franco Harris and if you get a chance, go back and watch the 4-minute video from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Talking about the schedule, and at the very end, Franco Harris picked up this document. He swapped the schedule that Cam Hayward was holding to his heart and to his chest for the longest time. He picked up the Immaculate Reception and swapped it with another email or bit of paper that said, "Have an immaculate season." And then this to me. Before we get into it, Owen, mate, this to me is brilliant. And I know we are in the YouTube space now and like editing and stuff like that and ideas and content creating. This to me is absolute brilliancy. Like it is so brilliant. The fact that at the very end, he has a schedule. And my first reaction was to go to his Twitter. And what happens? Boom, schedule on his Twitter.
That was just it's quality. You know, I think since that Rams one from the draft, I think everyone's going for this, these videos now. And I think the production is just quality, and there's also some moments in that video. As I said to you earlier, Mark, couldn't see Cam catching Minka. It's not going to happen.
No, 100%. And there's even at the very start, he's like, "Call me a plumber because there's no leaks coming my way" or something like that, right? I know we always talk about the passion, the culture of the Steelers, and we will get into the schedule, guys. Hang on, right? But this, to me, brings back that familiarity around the Pittsburgh Steelers and why we love the game. You're getting an insight to this team with Minka. You see the chefs there. You see Terrell's in there. Everyone's around. Franco Harris is back in the building. This, to me, I had chills down my spine throughout the whole video. And then Franco says, "Well, actually, I got the schedule," and Franco released it first, right? But are you ready to talk about the games?
I know 2 things in that video, Mark. First, when he was pulling that, Cam is heart and soul of our team, isn't he? And I think that video just demonstrates that. And it's nice how they linked it. I think obviously to the anniversary of the Immaculate Reception as well, which obviously
100%,
fantastic. And the fact we've got the Raiders this year as well on the anniversary of the Immaculate Reception as well would be just sort of fitting, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, and in the middle of the video too, Franco's like, "I caught it," and we still don't know if he caught it, but in our eyes, he did catch it, and it is one of the best plays in Steeler history, maybe.
And he also said in that as well, he said, "And it didn't even touch the ground."
There are still Raider fans to this day that absolutely hate that catch.
What is that? The statue, isn't there, in Pittsburgh in the airport? Is it the airport of the Immaculate Reception? And one of the was it one of the Raiders players from that team? Was it Ray Villapiano? Says one day he's going to tackle that statue.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's one at the airport. I've been to Pittsburgh. This is quite funny, right? I've been there 3 times and I've never actually seen it. Wow. I just didn't get a chance. We didn't get a chance to see it because one time we went there via bus, and the other 2 times I just couldn't find it. I I think I was really late at night. I didn't get a chance. But there is a Franco Harris statue with the Steelers where he actually caught the football at Heinz Field. But enough talking about Franco Harris. We love you, mate. But it's time to look at the schedule. Yep. And hopefully we can have a look here. So I'll just run through it. And what we'll do, Owen, man, we might break it down into quarters if that's probably the easiest way, right?
All right.
So we have the Bengals away, Patriots at home, Browns away, the Jets at home, the Bills away, Buccaneers home, Dolphins away, Eagles away. We have a bye in week 9, and we'll talk about that. With the Saints at home, the Bengals at home, the Colts away, Falcons away, so 2 in a row. Then near the end, Ravens. It's pretty hard here too. With the Ravens at home, Panthers away, Raiders at home, Ravens away, and Browns at home. What's your instant reaction so far with this schedule?
Two things jump out at me straight away. First 8 weeks are solid, man. Absolutely, just 5-star matchups from week 1 to week 8, and finally, the NFL give the Steelers a decent bye week of week 9, right in the middle of the season. That's good, and the running is not that bad actually. It's not as tough as it was last year. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. But those first 8 weeks, wow, there's going to be some amazing football played those first 8 weeks. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I'm pretty keen as well. We have the Bengals. What do we got? Bengals, Patriots, Browns. Like we have two rival games so far. So Bengals and Browns rival. We are versus the Jets coming there too. I guess we already knew the teams, and it's kind of like, yeah, if we can go in those before the bye, if you can get about 5-3, I think you got a good shot. Would you not agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this to be honest with you, those first 8 games, there is no easy game in that first 8 games. And I know people will say, "Oh, the Jets are easy games," but they are rebuilding nicely. They've got some nice draft picks. They've done well in free agency. Robert Salah is he's a decent coach. Dolphins have rebuilt with obviously bringing Tyreek Hill, Terran Armstead. They've got Tua. So yeah, it's going to be an incredible first 8 games. Baptism of fire for whoever actually starts at QB1, whether it's going to be Mitch or whether it's going to be Kenny. It's going to be a baptism of fire for them.
Well, let's talk about the bye first, and then we'll get into the first. We'll do it in slots of 4 games each.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about the bye at week 9? What do you reckon?
Well, the bye gives the Steelers it gives us 2 really good options. Number one, it gives us that option to really halfway through the season that gives you a chance to bring players back up to full fitness, gives them all a break if we've got any injuries like we did last season, gives you a chance to rest and recuperate those guys to bring them back. It's a really good time halfway through the season to have that bye, I think. And then you sort of you go for the first 8 games, break, and then you go for your last 9. I think that's really, really, really good. And also, if it is a situation where those first 8 games, whoever is the starting quarterback doesn't perhaps do as well as expected, then it gives you a bye week to bring in, say, Kenny Pickett. It may be that week 9 is the moment that they say, right, let's get a Kenny Pickett for the last 9 games of the season.
This will be the first time too at our bye in the last 2 or 3 years that we have not been stuffed around.
Yeah.
So look, it's probably the perfect place to have a bye. Let's be honest. Week 9, you have 17 games. What's that? 2, 4, 6, 8 games. Pretty much 8 each, or 8 and 9. Play 8 games. Hopefully we can go 6-2, 5-3. And then on the other stretch, finish the season 7 or 6 games winning. That's what you hope for, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's a nice time to have a bye. You don't want to buy too early in the season, the same way you don't want it too late in the season, because it may break your momentum, which is, if you're having it sort of week 13, 14, it could break up your momentum for the running. So yeah, it's a good time to really have it, I think.
And we all remember too what happened with the Ravens. Like, was it last year? I think it was, or the year before. They stuffed us around like 3 or 4 times during the COVID stuff. Absolutely incredible. So, hey, are you ready to talk about? We'll talk about we'll do it in quarters, a bit like Mike Tomlin does. We'll do it in quarters, and what we can do too. After each game we talk about, we'll just say if they're gonna win or lose right now, and we'll keep a tally, and we'll just see what our early prediction is. I have no idea who I'm going to choose, by the way.
Let's have that way too early predictions.
Oh, the way. Yeah. Okay. So we've already talked about it on our other video before with the Bengals, but let's talk about the Bengals again. Week 1, the Steelers are heading to Cincinnati to verse Joe Burrow. What do you reckon?
Massive game. I just was catching a bit of the NFL Network before this, before I came on here with you, Mark. And to be honest with you, quite a few of the guys on there were saying that this is one of the biggest games of week 1 straight away. AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a huge matchup, huge week 1 matchup. I just think, the Steelers are going to go into that with a real nasty taste in their mouth from last season, where we were swept by the Bengals, and that second game wasn't just a defeat; it was a humiliation. And when you've got players of the likes of Cam and TJ and Minka and Najee, who are very, very proud men, they're not going to want to leave the Bengals. They're going to want to get their own back.
Yeah, look, I agree with you. It's going to be like a massive matchup, like we talked about in the first video. But I actually like. I'm going to go fast with this one. I think we may lose. I got a feeling that it might be too much for our Steelers at the very beginning. I think we could at this time. And look, I'm a massive Steelers supporter. I'm a fan, but I think we may go 0-1. 0-1. Would you agree with that? Like, what do you think about this prediction?
To be honest with you, I think we win it. I think there's just going to be too much pent up hate, aggression in the Steelers, too much desire to get their own back on for last season, and just to shut the Bengals up. I think, and also like I think I think I mentioned on the last video, we went into week 1 last season, been absolutely written off against the Bills, and we won the game. And I think the Steelers play well when they've got their backs up against the wall, when they've got a chip on their shoulder, like they will have for this game. So yeah, I'm going to say we're going to win that.
All right. So the way too early prediction, you're going 1-0 and I'm going 0-1. Let's move into the next game. We have to get through all of these and we will do it. So if you guys stick around, you do enjoy the content, hit that sub, hit that like, and help us get to 800, 900. Help us get there. But we're going to do every single game. Next game, we're talking about the Patriots. What do you reckon about the Patriots?
Patriots at home, I think, it's not the same Patriots as it was when Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman were there, but it's still the two best coaches in the AFC going head to head, the two best defensive players in the AFC going head to head, defensive coaches going head to head, in Bill Belichick and Mike Tomlin. So I think it's gonna be a massive matchup, and there's such a massive rivalry between the Patriots and the Steelers, from the Jesse James caught the ball incident to the AFC Championship games, right back across the time of Brady's and all the other stuff that went on around that. So I think, for me, the Patriots Week 2, a huge home game to start off with. Heinz Field's going to be rocking and rolling. I think we go 2-0.
You reckon we go 2-0? Yeah, I kind of look. I think we can beat the Patriots in this one, because I think no matter what happens in Week 1 versus the Bengals, if we do win that or lose that, I think there's a good chance that if we can play physical, and there's no Tom Brady. There's no Tom Brady how there used to be. Mac Jones will struggle, and I think we win that one as well. I think we go, for me, 1-1, and you've got 2-0. Let's move into the next game, Browns. This is the game we haven't talked about yet. We are going to Cleveland, and we don't know if Deshaun Watson will play, but what do you reckon about this game? Thursday night too. So it's a short week. I'm not too fond of the short week, but and it's a rival game too. This is a pretty hard schedule. The first 3 games is a hard schedule.
I think this is a really difficult one to pick because of the fact that you don't know who the Browns are going to play at quarterback. Is it going to be Jacoby Brissett? Is it going to be Deshaun Watson? We still don't know about that. It's a Thursday night as well. Both teams, though, the Browns have got the Jets Week 2. So the Browns are coming off playing the Jets. We're coming off playing the Patriots. They both play at the same time on that Sunday as well. Both 1 p.m. kickoff. So again, no team's going to have the time advantage. So it's a really difficult one to call because of not knowing who the Browns quarterback's going to be. They've got Nick Chubb, but they've got Amari Cooper, but who else have they got as wide receivers? Yes, their defense is not bad. Yes, it's in Cleveland, but I'm starting to sound like a right homer here, but I think we're going to win that as well.
So you're going 3-0. Now look, I'm going to go opposite to you because I think the first 3 games, and this could change over time, but for me, the first 3 games are pretty tough. So I'm going to go with a loss here. I know it's crazy. We're losing the division, 0-2 already. But I'm going to go with a loss, and I don't want to do it. But the only reason I think I want to go for a loss is we're going to Cleveland after 5 days of versing the Patriots, and we're going into their house. And no matter who plays at quarterback, it's going to be a very physical game and a hard game to go into to Brown Stadium and win. Right? So, and I hope I'm wrong. So I'm going to have them, and my prediction will get better as I go through these other teams. These are probably the three tough teams in the whole schedule. Right? So
It's a huge start, isn't it? It's a really it's a tricky start in terms of Bengals Patriots. I know I've said 3-0, but it's still going to be three very physical, very intense battles for the first three games. I think the other thing that you've got to consider is if we can come out of this first 3 weeks with no injuries to any key players, that'll be another massive thing as well.
That's it too. If we keep Najee healthy, keep the receivers healthy, the O line, we'll probably do another breakdown early in mid-June or something like that. But right now, for me, I'm going to go 1-2, and you're going 3-0 because you're going to kill it. Well, I hope so, man. I do. I hope so. And we all could look. Hey, we could go 3-0. We went. The Steelers went 11-0 a couple of years ago, right? Mm-hmm. The next game is a very, very interesting one. A new kind of Jets side. Zach Wilson and the fellas. You already talked about him. Robert Salah, I think his name is, the defensive guy. What do we say? Do we take care of the Jets at home? Is this an easy victory? Is this what do we do?
I don't think it's. I think we do beat the Jets. I think they're still in that rebuilding phase. As well as they've done in the draft and well as they've done in free agency. I mean, obviously they've got Ahmad Sauce Gardner, they've got Zach Wilson. They've done a pretty good job. And Salah is a good coach. I've got a friend who's a 49ers fan, and he was very sorry to see Salah go from being the DC in San Francisco, but I think we'll just have a little bit too much for the Jets, especially with it being at Heinz Field. I think the Jets will do better this season, but I still don't think they'll have a winning record. They will do better, but I think it's a win for the Steelers, and it was 4-0 for me.
You're going 4-0. I'm near you. I'm gonna go 2-2 because I think the Steelers win at home too. I think we get 2 home victories, and I think our defense is way too talented for Zach Wilson and the Jets coming in. I don't see the Jets right now scoring a lot of points. To beat the Steelers team at home, you have to score points. And hopefully by 4 weeks into the program, the Steelers are starting to sort out their offense, starting to sort out their defense. And if they can take care of Mac Jones, I think they'll be able to take care of Wilson, put him into some fumbles. Like, he's only a second-year player, and he's coming into versus TJ Watt and the fellas. Like seriously, like that to me, if you want to choose maybe out of all these games, that could be a sure win. Home field advantage versus the Jets coming into Heinz Field. Now, however, nothing is a sure win, right? So I'm going to go 2-2, and at the quarter, you're at 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0, man. So hang on, let me just get the black and gold goggles off. There you go.
Mate, leave them on because we're going to need them for the next second quarter. The Steelers are going to Bills. Now, we did beat them last year. But what do you think this year with the Bills side and Josh Allen? Will they have revenge, or is this a Steeler team that can go in there and have a victory?
I think out of the first 5 games, the Bills scare me. They really do. I know we went up there and won last year, but they're going to want revenge on the Steelers. They scare me. They really do. They've Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. They've got Von Miller now as well. And they are a very good team. They were very unfortunate to miss out to the Chiefs in the playoffs last year. I've got them winning the AFC East this year. So I actually can see this being our first defeat.
Yeah, right. There you go. Look, I agree with you. I think they're going to be defeated as well. I think the first 5 games seem very tough. Actually, like you said before in the intro, before the bye, everything seems very tough. And because we have a new Steeler team as well with the offense, and Mitchell Trubisky probably will start. And if he does start, hopefully he starts until the bye week, or he keeps playing football and he's playing well. He goes into Bill Stadium, his former team, where he sat on the bench for a little bit. And this will be tougher. This will be tougher than last year because I think they'll be amped up to play. Now, depending how this goes too, all these things are situational because when the Bills go to week 5, I don't know who they're versing from weeks 1 to 4. But if they go 0-4, if they go 4-0, it's completely different. You don't know who you're going to get here, right? So It's very hard to predict right now. But I'm going to go with a loss as well. I'm sitting at 2-3, and you're sitting at 4-1. The next game is Buccaneers, mate. Buccaneers and Tom Brady is coming back home.
You see, you know what? As much I really don't like this guy at all. He's not allowed to be touched, allegedly. again, this is a difficult one because the Buccaneers, is Gronk coming back? That's the question.
Does Gronk even know his first name? I want to give a bit of a side cast here, mate. You know what Gronk means in Australia? I don't know what it means what does Gronk to you mean in UK slang?
Don't know. Gronk to me is just Gronk, as in Gronkowski.
In Australia, Gronk literally means you are an idiot.
Does it?
Yes,
Oh,
that guy over there is a Gronk. See that guy with the blue hat? He's a Gronk. It means you're an idiot, a stooge, a loser, like that you're dumb.
Mm.
And his name is that, and that's who he is. That's his persona. Gronkowski.
Yeah, he just come across a bit like that, actually. Just to go back to the Bills for a minute. The Bills' first 4 weeks, they've got the Rams, then the Titans, then the Dolphins, and then the Ravens before they play us.
That's a very, very hard schedule.
It is.
Rams, Titans, and Ravens. They could lose all those games.
Yeah.
Like there's no saying the Bills could win one of those games. Like that's crazy. But who you choosing for the Bucks here?
Oh, do you know? Again, the other thing that really confuses me over the Bucks is the whole Todd Bowles scenario. Todd Bowles is their head coach. He was the head coach of the Jets, and he was absolutely dreadful as the head coach of the Jets. But then the Bucks have got back a lot of their good players. You know, Godwin's back. Obviously, they've got was it Davis or Whitehead, whatever that guy was called, who he wanted as a safety, possible backup safe. They've got Levante David. I think the Bucks win this. Unfortunately, I just think Tom Brady just seems to have some sort of evil spell over the Steelers.
I get this feeling that I think the Tom Brady ride is over. I get this feeling the Steelers are going to win. I think we go 3-0 at home, and I think we go 0-3 away. So I think we go 3-3. You're going to go 4-2.
Yeah.
So we're becoming the middle field. But I think the Buccaneers will have, because it's not in prime time either. It's Tom Brady out in the sun. I think the minute that he starts to stuff up and he doesn't go his short routes, and we have a bit more pressure. And I think Miles Jack and Devin Bush and those fellas and Minka are going to have a better chance to take care of Tom Brady than we think. And if we can score some points, I think it'd be. I think Tom Brady won't be the same that he used to be, because most times we played him in prime time. So it's 1 p.m. game, mate. You come into Heinz Field. You know, it's Tampa Bay. You got to get the bus up or the plane before, and then you know you're ready to play football at 1. I don't know if he'll be ready. It depends how the Buccaneers go. The troubling thing is, if the Buccaneers struggle the first 5 weeks, we'll probably lose, because the minute that Tom Brady gets, you know, any ounce of, well, you can't do this, which I don't understand. We all know he's the best player, and he still has a chip on his shoulder. I don't get that. There's no reason to have a chip on your shoulder, mate. You just got the massive contract with Fox. But I've got them at 3-3. You got them at 4-2. Yep. What about the Dolphins?
Dolphins away. I think the Dolphins. I think will have a good season this season. I think they've strengthened in the right places. You know, Terran Armstead to protect Tua. They've got Tyreek Hill, but they've to me the Dolphins. They've got a rookie head coach. They sacked their best coach they had, which we've now got him, thank goodness, in Brian Flores.
Yeah.
Flores is going to want to really ramp that defense up to really go out there and punish the Dolphins. I think, you know, to really just show the Dolphins that what a mistake they've made in letting him move on and letting him go. So I think we win that.
So you got us winning that. So you're going to go 5-2. I think we win as well. I think the key point you said there is Brian Flores. I think what he did to the Ravens last year with that Dolphins defense, I could see him doing the exact same thing to the Dolphins. I could see him, devising a game plan to take away Tua and take away some of their weapons and shut down the corner, can shut down their receivers, and let the middle linebackers work. I could see this would be a hard game, but I think the Steelers win. I'm going to go 4-3. You're 5-2. What about the Eagles, man? This is. Look, I'm going to say it. I think we lose.
Yeah, the Eagles it's one that they just seem to have like some sort of evil eye over us, don't they? In Philadelphia, not at Pittsburgh, but in Philadelphia. I mean, I think we haven't won there since the 1960s. That's how bad. Even the team of the 70s couldn't win there, and that's saying something. I think the Eagles did very well last season with a very average team to get into the playoffs. They've strengthened very, very well. Nick Sirianni, their head coach, impresses me. Their defense is strengthened. They've got Jordan Davis, who I would love to have seen in black and gold. The only weak spot of the Eagles that I can see is their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's that good, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, he's better than Carson Wentz.
I think he'll be better this year, to be honest. I reckon he'll have a better turnaround this year, knowing it's really his team. I actually have the Eagles. This is very surprising, but I have the Eagles winning the division.
Yeah, I do too. I've got the Eagles.
I don't trust anyone else besides the Eagles this division. I think they're ready. I think the Cowboys are just average, like always. And I want to point out too, I forgot to mention the Dolphins game in Week 7 is a primetime game. That could be the first time we might see the color rush, depending if we do an opposite color rush. I don't know if we do that.
Yeah.
But regardless, that's going to be 8:20. So that's a pretty big game. And hopefully we don't use all our might and muster in the Dolphins game, because the Eagles game, I'm just going to chalk it up as a loss, because history says I think the Eagles have won 47 and we've won 25. They're one of the only teams that they have a winning record over us. The Steelers have a winning record over most of the other teams.
Mm-hmm. I think the Eagles. I've got the Eagles winning this game as well for 5-3. Plus, if you look at the Eagles, they've actually got the UDFAs and stuff. They've actually got some pretty decent undrafted free agents. They got Carson Strong, who Matty's favorite. They got Josh Joby from Alabama. They got Mario Goodrich for Clemson. Guys who were projected to go second and third round. And these are guys they've got as undrafted free agents. So I think, along with the players they've signed in free agency, along with the players they've got in the draft, like Jordan Davis, along with they've still got Fletcher Cox, for example, Derek Barnett. Yeah, I think the Eagles win this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just history says that they win this game. So at the end of the first 8 games, I had the Steelers going 4-4. And what do you have them? 5-3?
5-3.
Yeah. So we have the bye. Just talk once again, Owen. How important is the bye right here?
After that first 8 weeks of physical, football against some very physical, very good teams, it's going to be the perfect time for the Steelers then to rest, to recuperate. Looking, get anyone fit that's not 100% fit. Make sure they rest TJ and everything like that. So yeah, I think perfect time.
I agree 100%, because even if you do go 4-4, you go 5-3, you're still in the dance. You're still in the dance to go and win the AFC North. You're still in the dance in a good chance to go to the playoffs. Now, after the bye, we are versing the Saints at home. What do you reckon about this? We have a double coming up with the Saints versus Bengals. What do you reckon about versing the Saints?
I think we beat the Saints. I'm not impressed with the Saints at all. I think, Jameis Winston is a decent quarterback, but he's not outstanding. I think he can be very easily got after. They've got a new head coach, Dennis Allen, I think the guy's name is. It's not Sean Payton anymore. I think we beat the Saints.
I agree with you too. I don't know if Jameis Winston's going to light it up like he is. I don't know. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if the Saints are relevant this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they that relevant? Are they going to go out there and win the division with the Buccaneers?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's kind of like I don't know. They're kind of like the big unknown. The Saints have always been competitive and stuff like that, and they've always been a decent team since they won that Super Bowl. But that's Sean Payton. That's Sean Payton's New Orleans Saints. This is a different guy, a completely different coach. And when you move on from someone like Sean Payton, who is an outstanding head coach, there's going to be, I think, a fall off.
Yeah, I still think the Steelers are have a bye week, and we come back into home territory, and yet again another 1 p.m. game. So we haven't got too many prime time. We do have back-to-back prime time coming up. Do we have 5 prime time this year? I think the Steelers always, yes, we do. We have 5 prime time games. So I've got them winning this one, and we moved to 5-4 after the bye. You've got them winning as well?
Yep, winning, yeah.
So you got them 6-3. Now,
and the week before that, they play the Ravens.
Well, it's tough. It's very tough playing the AFC North. Now, what about the Bengals or the Bungles coming back to Heinz Field and at prime time?
Where's my brush?
Hey?
I want my brush, man.
Sweep them out?
Sweep them out, man. Sweep them out. Joey Bungle is going to have to get used to eating grass.
Yeah, right.
I
You're
know I'm being slightly unobjective about this, but
that's all right, mate. We're a Steelers channel. We're one of the realest Steelers channels out there. So if you do like our content, hit that sub along the way. Sorry, but that's who we are.
Definitely, man. And I don't know whether it's you, Mark, your influence, but I'm just developing this real strong Bengals hatred now. You know, just because the rubbish their fans have come out with over the last few months, the fact that we've gone to the Super Bowl. Well, yeah, but you lost it. We've got Joey. Yeah, they've only got Haribo rings. They haven't got proper rings. At the end of the day, I just want to sweep them up. We just owe them, and I think that's going to be such a motivating factor. And knowing what proud men Cam and TJ and Minka and Najee are, and Coach Tomlin as well, I think this is going to be as overwhelming, to shove it back in their faces.
Well, we have a lot more veterans on our defense. If Alualu and Tuitt are healthy and if they're playing, we have much better depth. I think with that sense. I agree. I think they win this game. I think they win in prime time. I don't think they want the Bengals to beat them at home. No way. Also, guys, if you get a chance to go to these games, if I was living in America, if I had a chance to go overseas, I would book a 2-week holiday and go to the Saints game and then go to the Bengals game, back-to-back home games. I think we get a W. And you reckon we get a W?
Yeah, W for me.
So you've got them now 7-3. I got them 6-4. And we will talk about this more and more. But yeah, I think the Bengals coming in, if we have a good start from the bye, and we are having a good season, this is going to start to form maybe a playoff push. So let's go into the next game, Week 12 versus the Colts, another primetime game. However, I'll look it up, but I think the Colts haven't beaten us in a long time.
No,
like 8 games.
Yeah, we've done very well against the Colts, and again, I think the Colts are a funny team. They really are. I think they're obviously rebuilding again at the quarterback position after the disaster that was Carson Wentz last year for them. They've got Matty Ice there, Matt Ryan. They've obviously got that really good running back as well. Joseph, is it the guy's name? The guy who went over 1,000.
It doesn't matter who they have. I just looked it up. They haven't won a game against the Steelers since 2005. Sorry, my apologies. 2008 was the last game. The Colts beat the Steelers. The Steelers have won, 7 games in a row, and they have an overall record of 26-6.
And I think the Colts defense is a little bit suspect. I think this Colts team couldn't even beat the Jags at the end of last season. So come on. I think, yeah.
Oh, you go.
I think it's a W.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of worried about Matt Ryan, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure who their backup is, but can Matt Ryan survive until Week 12? And if he does, we're going to come into Indy, and we have had great success there, and I think we win. I think we win based off our running game, and I think we win based off our defense yet again. I think Matt Ryan will probably try too much. This is what I think they'll try and do. They might try and run the football, and if they can't run the football, then Matty Ryan is going to put himself into a hole and only a one diverse option where he has to pass, and I don't think he can with his pass rush. If we have our healthy starters after the bye, only 3 games after the bye, I think we have a good chance to beat the Colts. So I've got them. I think we win. I'm 7-4, and what are you? 8-4.
8-3.
8-3.
8-3.
8-3.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 points. 11 games.
Next game versus the Falcons at the Falcons.
Oh, Atlanta for me is still an absolute disaster. I think by this point in the season they will have ditched Mariota. They'll be playing Desmond Ridder at quarterback. Obviously, the rookie quarterback. To me, they're a bit of a disaster. You look at their roster. Who have they got? They've just got They've got Drake London. He's a rookie wide receiver, but other than that, they've lost their best 2 wide receivers, Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage. Tight end, they've lost their best tight end. Running backs, they've got nobody. Their defense is not much. I think it's a win.
Their running backs, they have Cordell Patterson, who's really a receiver too.
Yeah, they've got Tyler Allegier or whatever he was called in the draft. But no, I just For me, since they lost that Super Bowl to the Patriots, they've just been a disaster. The Falcons, and like I said, I think Riddle will be starting by this point. I know it's in Atlanta, I know it's in Georgia, in that fantastic stadium, but I think we win it.
Yeah, they've been a pretty awful team since '51. They have. I looked at the roster here. They have Rashad Evans at middle linebacker. Like he's like the only guy I know on the defense, because I don't follow the Falcons, but you have Cordell Patterson, the running back, Marcus Mariota. He's okay to average, and it doesn't matter if they play Desmond Ridder or Mariota. I think we can line them both up. If you take care of Pitts, the tight end, I think you take care of him, you have a better chance. And who are the receivers? I can't even.
Drake London. That's it.
I can't. I don't know who these other guys are.
But when you're going into a season, and your wide receiver one is going to be your rookie, Drake London, I think you've got problems.
Do they have no receivers? They have Auden Tate, Zacchaeus, and
if you look down the list of their receivers, I haven't heard of it. Jared Bernhardt, Demir Bird, Frank Darby, Chad Hansen, Cordarrelle Hodge.
No idea.
Auden Tate, Austin Trammell, Olamide.
They're in trouble. They're in trouble. I think we win that game. And the history says too, we have beaten the Falcons. We have one of the best records against them. We have won 14 times and lost 2 and drawn once. So I think we win. That puts me on 8-4. And you think they win too?
Yeah.
9-3. The next game we have the pesky Ravens at home.
The Ravens worry me. They really do. I think they're going to be a lot better this season. They're going to have obviously a lot of their injured players back, so their secondary is obviously going to be reassembled. They lost virtually all their secondary towards the end of last season. J.K. Dobbins should be back and fit for them. They drafted very, very well. They did well in free agency. You know, the only thing about the Ravens is the fact that who's their wide receivers?
Hollywood.
Boykin is now a Steeler. Was it Hollywood Brown is now a Cardinal?
He's gone.
So who are their wide receivers?
Well, it doesn't matter because Lamar can't throw the football anyway. I like how we change our idea of we try and talk a little bit about teams and give them a positive light, but as soon as we talk about our rivals, we just want to can them.
I'm just trying to look here to find out who the wide receivers are. Rashad Bateman, he was the one who was he was a rookie last year.
Devin Duvernay, Duvernay's pretty good. He's not too bad.
Yeah, Devin Duvernay. Yeah, they've got him.
He's a bit of a worry, actually. I think he's pretty good. But you are right. Who are the receivers? It's very, very similar to Atlanta Falcons. There's no one really proven. Of course, they have Mark Andrews, who always rips us apart. He's a really good tight end. J.K. Dobbins and those fellas. But I don't know, man.
I know this. I know there's probably there's quite a few members of Steeler Nation who won't agree with this, and I'll probably get some hate for saying this, but Terrell Edmonds owns Mark Andrews.
Yeah, true. Well, let's hope he can do it this year too. Come down to the box and fight the tight end. Now, we have to have a prediction. If they're playing at home, I think we win.
Yeah, I think we beat the Ravens just because the fact that Lamar Jackson is awful against the blitz. If you look at what the Dolphins did to him last year when they just blitzed him into out of existence.
Yeah,
and I think with Flores been on the defensive staff, with the fact we've got TJ, Alex, Cam, Stefan Tuitt, Miles, I think it will just be a case of we'll blitz Jackson into well, I don't know, smash him abound.
The thing is too, the Ravens are on a 6-game losing streak. I don't know if you have it in front of you who they're playing in week 1, but if you can bring that, that'd be great. But the Ravens have also lost 4 times. They have lost 4 times to the Steelers. We have a 4-game win streak against the Ravens at home, 1 p.m. December football. I think the Steelers go out there and get a W. I think it's going to be a hard season for both teams, but I think at this point we know who Najee is, and at this point we probably know who our quarterback is. It's either going to be Kenny Pickett after the bye, probably, or it's going to be Trubisky the whole way. And I think whoever plays at quarterback, I think we have a better chance of winning at home and scoring points and keeping the defense. The defense can keep on the wraps. And
so the Ravens play the Broncos before they play us
at week 13.
Hang on, yes, 4th of December. Yeah.
That to me, I think Wilson's going to go off. Are they playing at home or away?
It is. I think it's away.
That's even harder. The thing is too.
Oh
Yeah,
no, sorry, no, I'm wrong. It's at Baltimore. Sorry, M&T Bank Stadium. Sorry, my fault.
It doesn't matter to me. Look, to me, everyone says, "Oh, Lamar Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks," and his postseason record doesn't really count. Like he had a really good first year, and now I think the Steelers have figured him out. I got this feeling that TJ Watt and the fellas, if they're all healthy, I reckon they figured him out and they know how to play him. And you know what? Let him have the big yards. Let him have 40-yard plays sometimes, but near the end, he's going to make a mistake, and the Steelers will turn it over or fumble.
Yeah,
because that's what they're going to do to him.
I think as long as I think the Ravens will try and run the ball. That's the thing they're going to try and do. And as long as we've sorted, and this is a big as long as we've sorted our running defense out, then we should be okay.
Right. So you have them winning too. So you're 10-3. Let's go into the Panthers away. This is I don't even know who the Panthers team is. Who's their quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Oh, Darnold, that's right.
Oh, who else have they got? I don't know. Do you know what? Did they sign Sam Howell?
Is this a quote-unquote trap game? I don't really believe in those games anyway. But is this a quote-unquote trap game?
There's a lot of rubbish spoken about that. I once looked into the statistics of that, and Tomlin actually doesn't lose as many games as everyone makes out that he loses to poor teams.
Well, I saw a stat the other day. He has the highest winning percentage against the winning teams in 10 years.
Yeah, he does. We do very well. Who are their quarterbacks? So, but it was Matt Corral. So their quarterbacks are Matt Corral or Sam Darnold.
So a rookie and a guy who's seeing ghosts. I reckon. I don't know what to think. I don't know this Panther team. They're same like the Falcons, man. They're like they haven't been relevant since 50. To be honest, the only
looking at their offense, the only Panthers the players that worry me is obviously Christian McCaffrey if he's fit. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a victory here. Do you reckon they win this one?
Oh yeah, definitely win this one.
All right, so you've got them now 11-3. Now we're getting into some sketchy territory because I'm on a win streak here for the Steelers with 6 in a row, and I kind of feel like I don't know if this is a thing you need to do in psychology, but there needs to be maybe one loss along the way. I don't know if you can win them all, be like the Patriots, and then go and lose. But we come home, the Raiders. This is a pretty tricky game. Derek Carr and the Raiders.
Yeah, especially as we don't ever seem to beat the Raiders.
No, another team that it's like the Eagles. They seem how. Who was that year? I can't remember the guy's name. Tyrell Pryor. What his name was? He ran for 98 yards or 90 yards prior.
Yeah,
Terrell Pryor, I think the quarterback. He ran for like 90 yards for like a quarterback sneak to get a touchdown.
I don't know. So, I forgot. Yeah. So, yeah, the Raiders have the upper hand on us. 17-13. I think that's right.
Yeah. So, for some reason, they always, because we always get the West Coast. It's hard to play out there. I think the Raiders are a funny, weird bunch. Some weeks they can lose by 40, and other weeks they can win by 20. For me, I've got them losing. What do you reckon?
The Raiders are just weird. I think the Raiders are that weird factor because they've got the new coach and Josh McDaniel. Derek Carr, they've Devontae Adams. Yeah, I think the Raiders will win. Actually, I do think the Raiders will win.
All right, so you're going 11-4. I've got 10-5.
Yeah.
The last 2 games, of course, you have the last division game with the Browns, but they just wanted to put the Ravens next to them. If we are fighting for a playoff spot, these last 2 weeks are going to be insane.
Yeah,
because we have to go to Baltimore and we come back to the Browns. This could be the way that you've talked about too. You've talked about the AFC North being hard with the Bengals having a real hard division and schedule. This could be the last 2 games. If we're all around the 10-9 win mark,
yeah,
this could be 11 games, wins it to win the division. What do you reckon with the first game?
Ravens away. I think this might be a loss.
Right. I'm going to spin it a different way. I'm going to spin it like I just said. If we are fighting for the AFC North, I think we go and win. I think if we're sitting at 10-5 or maybe 9-6, and we have to get 2 games in a row like we did last year, and we beat the Ravens, beat the Browns and Ravens, I think the Steelers show up and we beat them at home, and I think we get a win.
Okay. Yeah, I just think that I think I can't. At the moment, I've got a sweep in the division. I can't see us winning every divisional game. I just think I've said since anyone asked me really that I think this year the division AFC North will be between the Ravens and the Steelers. As much as I don't like the Ravens, I actually have some respect for the Ravens because they're a tough team. They play tough but fair football. So I think we might lose this one. I really do. I think we'll probably lose it on was it Tucker field? Is it Tucker the guy's called?
Yeah, if he's still playing, mate, honestly, he is. People talk about Lamar Jackson being the MVP or the best Ravens player. One of the best Ravens players is Tucker. Like hands down, he has the most points. You could just work a system where you go out there and maybe not stress to go out and get touchdowns. And I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out. Go out there and get field goals and don't overly stress to push the pass and get in an interception. Get Tucker in field goal range. Try some plays to get there, but if you don't, you've got an automatic 3 points.
Yeah,
like he is money. So if you have him on the bench, you know that you don't want to put Lamar in a situation to throw the football away and get an interception because you always have 3 points. Anything beyond like 50, he can sink him. 50, 55 yards can sink him in.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think it'll be a very, very tight, hard-fought game, and I see it coming down to a last-second field goal by Tucker to win the game, unfortunately. Something like 19-17 or 20-17 or something like that.
And at home too, the Ravens at home as well. So
yeah,
you have them 11-5. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So do I. I've got them at 11-5 as well, and we're going into the last game at home. The Browns, the old Brownie boys. What's going to happen? Are we getting a victory here? I think we are. I think you know what? If we lose all 15 games or whatever we play, 16 games, I think we win this game. There's no way we lose the last game.
I agree. I think we beat the Browns. I've got the Browns. You know, I was asked about predictions. I can't remember where it was now. I was asked about predictions for the AFC North. I've got the Browns finishing last. They just do not impress me at all. I think Stefanski is overrated as a coach. I think the way I don't like Baker Mayfield. I mean, and he's not a great quarterback, but the way they treated him was out of order. They've got Deshaun Watson, but there's no guarantee he's even going to play this season. And if he doesn't, then you go back to Baker, cap in hand, and beg him to start for you, or you start with Jacoby Brissett. What do you do? Well, Brissett's not going to get you to the playoffs. I'll tell you that now.
Why would Baker want to play?
Exactly.
Why would he want to actually go under center, and throw? Why?
Yeah, I agree with you.
The way they treated him was absolutely awful. So it's so dumb.
What did they do? So if by that point, if Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback, if Deshaun Watson is banned, then what do? They go to Josh Dobbs. Well, Josh Dobbs is a decent backup, but he's not a starter, is he? So
he won't beat the Steelers defense. There's no way he can score more than 3 touchdowns.
No way.
Absolutely not. No way. I want to backtrack a little bit. I didn't realize that the Steelers game versus Raiders is like Christmas Eve, my birthday, 24th, and in Australia that'll be Christmas Day. I get to watch Steelers football on Christmas Day at 12 p.m.
Wicked.
Let's go. Hey, you'll be what? What are you? Probably asleep.
What time is it?
8:15.
What US time? So that'll be 1:15 a.m. Now I'll be asleep.
Yeah, but
you're watching the game, Marco.
Is that your Christmas Day too? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can both watch the Raiders on Christmas Day. I don't.
Mate,
oh man, sorry, you go.
Mate, I've not been. You know what? I stayed. I didn't miss a single game last year, and I stayed up till like 5 a.m. and then did the school running 2 hours later.
Yeah, you're crazy. But that reminds me too when I went and saw Steelers versus Ravens on Christmas Day. One of the best times of my life. Honestly, I stayed back half an hour, and I was like, I made it. And now we have Steelers versus Raiders on Christmas Eve and my Christmas Day. It's great. But we are going to finish up the podcast here, the special edition of the podcast. So you've got the Brownies losing and we win?
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't rate the Browns at all. I think they're going to have a losing record.
Right. So what is your final record? I think it's the same as mine.
12-5.
12-5, right? And didn't we get there a different way?
Yeah.
We got there a very, very different way too. I had them losing, going 4-4 at the break,
Yeah.
at the bye, and then winning 6 in a row, and then losing one game. I don't know if that will happen though. I've got them losing one game after the bye.
Yeah.
Know,
never know, man. Never know.
What do you reckon? Before we start to wrap things up, any final thoughts about this whole season?
Oh, it's going to be a fantastic season. I know we knew the opponents now before, but this just makes it seem all the more real now. It's like you're kind of planning for it, you're thinking about it, you're thinking about where you're going to be, where you're going to watch the games, timings. It's just, I know it's sad, but like it's so exciting just getting this schedule, this with the games on, isn't it? It's just I know there's a lot of people over here don't understand, you know. And then today, when I was finishing work tonight, and I was telling people I was going to, you know, do this tonight and talk about the NFL schedule, they were like, "You're mad."
What? They were like, "Actually, I don't work till next week. What are you talking about? The schedule's not out yet." Like, what schedule? You know? No, I'm keen, man. Too. I really am. It is only the schedule, but it's the next piece of the puzzle for the Steelers' adventure to go on and get 7 to get the Super Bowl. We are 12-5. I think we have a chance this year because every team has a chance, 0-0, except for the Bengals. All 31 teams have a chance except for the Bengals. They don't have a chance. And look, I don't want to see them go to the Super Bowl again and go 0-4. That hurt my heart. I really for as long as I am on this earth and walking around with my terrible towel, and I never want to see the Bengals win. I never want to see the Bengals win ever. Like, I'm talking ever. Like, not one Super Bowl. I would rather, I know it sounds crazy, I would rather see the Browns, but we all know the Browns aren't going to win.
No, was it Juju said the Browns is the Browns?
He was right. Hey, we're going to call it a show soon, but yeah, so you're pretty happy, eh? You're pretty happy with everything?
Definitely.
Okay,
let me look forward to.
Hey?
There's a lot to look forward to.
Man, crazy times in the Steel land. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming and looking at this 50 odd minutes for the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate podcast, special edition on the schedule. I'm almost out of breath, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks Owen, man, for coming around. We will be diving into the more Steeler topics, and if you made it this far, please hit that sub. Look, man, actually, if you made it this far, I'm just hit the sub. Am I right? If you made it all the way to, if you watched, you sat there, 52 minutes, you know what? They did a good job. But I'm not going to hit that. If you made it this far, you're a true Steeler fan. You love the Syndicate. You love our work. So show that appreciation and bring it back to us. Exactly. Yeah. So thanks, Owen, man, for coming on the podcast today. As always, it's so much fun. And as always, guys, here we go, Steelers. Here we go.